Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever it is in the world you are, and welcome in to the Anti-Stall Racing League. I am Ava, joined by the ever-lovely Wes, and this is round number 10, the finale at Silverstone. Wes, how you doing, mate? Yeah, absolutely. And, like you said, we have GT3s, we have LMPs, and to be honest, it is one of those that this race is going to be one that I'm sure nobody's going to want to miss. We've got, I think, probably one of the best series for it, for the finale at least. And looking at the championship standings, it is still all to play for, coming down to the final round of the championship. Now, we will go through the LMP2s and the GT3 standings for you. Should we start off with LMP2? So, LMP2, we do have Lorenzo Castellani and Alessandro Izzo will be the two that we're looking for as race control puts up a message right in front of the championship standings. Well, uh, yeah. Castellani and Izzo, as I mentioned before, are the two who we are looking forward to, as they are the only ones who can win the championship. Dylan van der Lands, unfortunately, is a little bit too far back, as the maximum points you can take is 385. And unfortunately, I don't think 385 points would quite do it. It would be close. I don't know, maybe it would actually. Okay, mathematically, van der Lands could do it, but Izzo and Castellani would have to DNF the race. Yes. Absolutely. So, 35 points on offer for qualifying, and that would be for pole position. So, it's looking like potentially that will be the deciding factor, right? Especially between the GT3s. So, Ponta and Bernardi, we'll take a quick look. So in GT3, we have Bernardi and Ponta battling for the championship win. Bernardi and Ponta are separated by close to 90-ish points. And to be honest, it's looking as though the way that those two have fought so far, potentially it's going to end in a 1-2 for Bernardi and Ponta, or something along those lines. And if it does, Ponta will not take enough points away from Bernardi to secure the championship. Ponta is a little bit too far back for that to happen. I think, looking at it from the standings, I believe Ponta would have to win and get pole position, whereas Bernardi would have to finish, I believe, 5th or lower in the actual race, and it doesn't matter where he qualifies if Ponta gets pole and wins. But Bernardi would have to finish 5th or lower for Ponta to take the championship. So, not unlikely, but definitely improbable. Let's say that much. It's going to be difficult for Ponta to win the championship, but you never know. This is a 1 hour long race that we have here today in the GT3s, and as we like to say, anything can and probably will happen. All of the top 3, I believe, are in here today. We've got Bernardi, Ponta, and Nespolino, all of which are out currently on track, and I don't think any of them, of the top 3 at least, have set a qualifying lap yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh, I'm sure we'll get one coming in shortly. With Ponta currently on a lap, I believe. So, just to fill people in there, for those of you who can't hear Wes at the moment on stream. um, uh, to give a brief rundown on what Wes has said so far, it was saying that the track map is absolutely massive for Silverstone. That was the main point there, and how potentially that the track needs to be simmering down a little because it is far too large for what the track actually is.
Aha! Aha! Hello. There you go. It's because I had the mic issue earlier, didn't I? Where I was like messing around and it wouldn't work, and yeah, I must have. Oh, I pulled it out, didn't I? And it wasn't happy. I did that. That's what's happened there. I'm gonna try and turn myself a little bit down as well, just to make sure that I don't scream the place down, because now my mic settings aren't there. But yeah, I was just saying that the track map is just ridiculously huge. So yeah, if you did wonder why randomly Silverstone took up your entire screen, it's because that's what I was confused with earlier when I opened SDK up. I was a bit like, why is Silverstone that big? It is not necessary, but yeah, it's right in your face about it.
It's the finale. Everything's big on the finale.
Yeah, I can't wait if we ever go to Texas and see how big their track map is then.
Yeah.
Over Dakota.
Well, you know, the thing is what would make it better is if everybody was driving the BMW as well. You know, go big or go home.
Yeah.
I think that would sort of cement it. But unfortunately, it has been a bit of a Porsche Cup this season regarding GT3. And,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
you know, maybe that's something that gets looked at for next season if GT3 is still running here. You know, maybe even just some custom balance of performance. But again, that'll be something that gets looked at, I'm sure, going into next season with the amount that Porsche has been represented and all of the other manufacturers not really seeming like they're as close. So maybe something can be done to see.
Normally, each season it changes, doesn't it? When the next iRacing season comes out, the Porsche won't be top again. It'll be something like the Ferrari or something. You know, it changes each season, doesn't it? Like last time, I think it was the new Mercedes everybody was in. So I'm sure it will change again, just through the nature of iRacing.
Yeah, it would be cool to see though. Just like a custom BOP for the series to make all of the cars a bit more even in terms of driver skill and level. You know, because as we said, the Porsche hasn't been like this before. The Porsche, normally, people drove it because they had a death wish, not because they wanted to go fast.
True, very true.
It's sort of the main thing. The instabilities had a little bit of a look at, and the Porsche is now one of the faster cars on the GT3 series, if not the fastest outright. There are still tracks where the Porsche isn't as fast as something like the Audi over one lap pace, but it's, you know, the Porsche can do it lap after lap after lap, whereas the Audi is sort of a one lap says all and doesn't really do much else. So again, we'll have to wait and see how the season develops. Obviously, next season, at least as far as iRacing is concerned, we have new cars, definitely confirmed, and potentially a change up in the IMSA series for us here at Anti-Stall. But again, something that we as commentators can only guess on until we get some more concrete information.
Yes, which there isn't a set date yet for the concrete information to come out, but as we're near the end of the season, you can start guessing that it's not too far away. I'm excited because I'm excited for all the new seasons, including the touring cars, and I'm sure Kevin and co are all excited about the IndyCar. That's the best thing about Anti-Stall. Everybody gets excited for the 3 different series. You know, there's a lot of people that are excited for the multi-class and the GT3s, and when we brought in the LMP2s, everyone was really looking forward to that. And then there was Kevin and a few others that were really excited for the IndyCar and the open wheel. Then there was me and a couple of people that were really excited for the touring cars, and that's gone quite well. So that's good to have the very mixed, that everybody has their own style of racing, and it's good that everyone can be excited for the 3 different series.
Well, I am a little bit biased, seeing as this is the one that I commentate on the most, but I definitely look forward to the IMSA series most. I think it's so different in terms of a motorsport discipline, having the multi-class. You know, if you're in a slower class car, you have to worry about not only your own race, but also another race happening at a very similar time. And, you know, if you're driving the faster class, again, same thing. But you're worrying about traffic, you're worrying about, you know, what are the best places to overtake. And you have this sort of strategy that develops in LMP and GT where you almost have to drive in a way of which you can still battle the cars that you're around in your own class, but also try to make sure that you're not being slowed down by traffic. You know, making sure that if they are catching you in a corner, that you make it very obvious where you are, what you're doing, so that if they go for an overtake, that gets done cleanly and quickly, and then you can just get immediately straight back on it again. There is an ebb and flow in these races as well. Partway through, we'll normally see a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a quiet period before we go back racing again. And, you know, that's all part of it. You know, the pit stops make definitely a big factor, especially considering we have probably 2 of them, I would imagine, this race for both classes. GT3 and LMP will probably be making 2 pit stops. And yeah, it's an exciting one. It's the finale. It's hype. Everyone's excited. And one person who has yet to set a lap, and this could actually be interesting from the championship standings point of view, is the man on your screen right now, Alessio Bernardi.
He hasn't got long, has he?
No, he has this lap.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it this lap, and he's not looking like he's going very fast, so
yeah, you know, you're not wrong. He's not set any of. It's not telling me any of his sectors either. So he's not purple. I don't think
like he's pushing. I don't think he's managed to get a lap in. You know,
is it if he gets to the line before? Oh, what is it? It's 14 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's only got this, isn't he? It's not telling me that he's on one. It's not coming. Look, none of the sectors are coming up on the screen either.
Yeah, I think he's missed it. I think Bernardi has missed it. That's huge for the championship.
He has
just when you don't want it to happen.
He's done 4 laps as well. It's not like he hasn't been out there. Everybody else has done 5 and 6. He's done 4 though. He's been out there. I don't know what's happened here at all.
And you know, looking at the GT3 standings,
he's in.
The person who's behind him, who is his rival for the championship win, Fabio Ponta, qualified on pole so far. Obviously, Raul Suarez could potentially upset that in his final lap. Same with Richard Zudovec and Tim Perry, but they're not setting any purples, so I'd imagine that Ponta is pretty safe.
Well, I think he might not be too safe from Rule. His time does look good, but he has got yellows, but his time might be an improvement here. No, not even an improvement. Oh, it's a 10th off his best, so that should be safety for Fabio. A pole as well.
which we know pole position gives you 35 points, swinging his way, and Bernardi, because he hadn't set a lap, I'm pretty sure he's going to get 0 points.
Will he get 0 or will he get points for P13 quali? I wonder. We're off racing control because they can hear us. Tell us that information.
Yeah.
Or where does points go? Does it go all the way down to? Or is it just top 5? Or it might just be
it
top
goes
5.
all the way down.
Oh, does it? Okay.
I believe it's 10% of the maximum points you would get for finishing that position in the race.
I see.
As the LMPs are very much waiting.
Oh, I love it.
Going.
I absolutely love it. And it's go. Look at that.
Yeah, they are gone straight away. The moment it hits 16 minutes, all of the LMPs are going. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting now, I think, to see whether or not
iRacing decides who gets quali points. Interesting. So, what do we reckon then? Will iRacing give him quali points for just being there or not?
Well, if they don't, it is a 48-point deficit between the two of them. Going into the race, which means that Bernardi needs to finish 3rd or higher if Ponta wins the race. Actually, no. I don't think it'll work like that because I think Fabio Ponta would win on countback. Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting, potentially. Bernardi's going to have to work himself all the way from the back of the grid to P2 to secure the championship. If they haven't given him qualifying points.
Race control, can you go back and look at previous races and see if the person that didn't qualify got quali points? Just so we can have a certainty. Them in race control don't think he'll get points.
So that would be huge for the championship. That would be absolutely massive.
I believe that's Thomas Amos in the YouTube chat saying about having a mad season. It's been a lot of fun for him personally. He's definitely learnt a lot this season and called us, not just us Legends, but I assume everyone involved. Everybody I think involved, we should take that as us being.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's fair.
If you're saying it in the stream chat, clearly you're talking to the commentators.
Yeah, talking
right?
to
That's
us.
How it works.
Yeah, fully. This is our domain, so yeah, that's what he said there.
But just to confirm, how many GT entries do we have? There's 12, isn't there?
13 including
13 including Alessio. Yeah. So he would get points for finishing 13th?
If they were going to get some, he would, yes.
If he gets some. So, let's see. Because it's going to be some quick math. See how many points he gets. And so if he finished 11th, he would get 20 points, which means... Sorry, 13th, he would get 18 points.
Right.
And we said there was a 48 gap if he didn't get any points, so it would be a 30.
Yep, 30.
It would be 66 points.
Oh, right. Yeah.
If he did get those points, because you add the 18 on. So,
yeah.
If it's 66-point deficit, then he needs to finish 4th or higher to win the championship. If he doesn't get points, he needs to finish 3rd or higher and hope he wins on countbacks, or... Actually, wait, no. No, he needs to finish 2nd. If he doesn't get points, he needs to finish 2nd to win the championship. So, by not qualifying, potentially...
Well, that's a slide a couple of times.
He's given himself way more work. has Alessio. So it's all on in the final round. It is all on for GT3 Championship. That is mental to think about. And in terms of our LMP Championship standings, just to run you through those while they are on our screen right now, Castellani, Izzo, and Van der Lans, in theory, all have a chance to win the championship. In reality, Van der Lans is out. He's basically third place, confirmed. He could overtake Izzo, but it's a long shot. Izzo versus Castellani is what we're looking at, and as it stands right now, without any qualifying bonus points, doing some quick calculator maths, we're 71 points difference between the two of them. So, if Izzo qualifies on pole position, and Castellani finishes second, we then see that go down to 68 point difference, which means all Castellani would have to do is finish third or higher, and he'd be the championship winner. As it stands at the moment, though, Castellani is going to do what he has done all season long, and dominate qualifying, dominate the race, and unfortunately Izzo has to play second place in the team.
That's a different livery from Frank there.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's very nice, yeah.
Final round, show us a new livery, you know. Looks nice.
Absolutely. Looks great. Looks very good. Oh, yes. Tim Perry has the nickname P4, doesn't he? And he's qualified P4.
He's finished P4.
That is fantastic.
Him, Mr. Consistent Perry. Well, you know, if he's continuing as he means to go on this season, you know,
I'm gonna play
the season how you started.
I'm gonna place a bet on him to get P4 today. What I'm gonna do.
Pretty sure the odds on that one would be negative
be very
because of
bad. Yeah, be very bad odds. So they've done their research, have race control, and looking at previous results, people, it seems they do get points for quality without qualifying. So we go with the premise that he will get P13 points.
Which then means that he would need to finish fourth or higher.
And that's the goal then.
Yeah. Well, Alessio Bernardi, if you're in the chat, we've done the maths for you, my friend.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Now you know what your target for the evening is.
Yep.
I have a Yorkshire tea while you're at it. Is it Yorkshire tea that's on that car? It's... Oh, look. It is Yorkshire tea, yep. On the side of Brody's car.
I am just going to confirm, just to make sure I have done that correctly. So, he would finish 13th, technically? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, 13th in...
If he's getting points, so he'd get the points for 13th place, because he'd start behind Thomas, who was 12th. That makes sense. And then... take that. We take away the points from Hunter, who would be... what's that? So yeah, 66 point difference. The only way in which Hunter could outscore Alessio would be for Alessio to finish fourth or lower, actually. Because you get 350 points for the race win, and only 280 for finishing P4, which is a 70 point difference. Quick maths. So yeah, Bernardi needs to finish on the podium.
Now, so everybody should get used to this point system, because I'm pretty certain for next season it's staying. So we haven't done this for nothing. We've got to deal with it for a little bit longer. So as long as you know it, you're going to know it for a while. But yeah, the point system I believe is staying. So that's one thing to look forward to next season. Big numbers. I do find it funny when I edit the SDK, because if I've missed a couple of rounds, the numbers. Like, at one point there was 1,000, now we're at like 3,000. So if I haven't been here for like 2-3 weeks, I have to change the numbers from quite a big. And I keep looking at them like I'm losing it, because after a while 2,300 and something, then it's 1,000. You have to keep looking back going, am I sure that I'm typing the right numbers here? It's, yeah, it's quite a lot of points.
I mean, I kind of like the point system, though, because it means that there's, in theory, never a chance of you being out of the championship, even though it looks like the gaps are massive.
Yeah, but doesn't it devalue the points by giving out loads?
I don't think so, because everyone's on the same points, right? It'd be different if it was like, you know, qualifying got you next to nothing and the race gets you everything, then qualifying kind of feels pointless. But the fact that qualifying gives you pretty much 10% of, well, if you were to finish in the race, and the race had 10% less in terms of points, or it was valued at 10%, then, you know, this is how many points you'd have. I think it's a nice balance, definitely, between the two. I think if you made qualifying points more, I think there'd be almost no point in actually doing well in the race. You just try and get all your points in qualifying.
Yeah.
And then in the race, you just chill, because you're gaining way more points in qualifying than, you know, you otherwise would. Yeah, your bulk of your points would probably come in the race situation, but like if qualifying was like half the points or half the finishing position points compared to what it was in the race, then it would be, yeah, too much, I think. But having it as 10%, I think it's nice. It gives a nice, gives you that nice I'm never out of it type feeling. The fact that you can score a maximum of 385 points means that in retrospect, you can actually look at that and be like, well, I've got X amount of rounds left. What is the maximum I can score? Am I technically out of the championship? Is there realistically a way where I can win all the rest of the races? And, you know, it keeps us guessing.
Oh, it keeps us guessing.
That's the main thing.
Keeps us doing maths for hours is what it does to us.
Well, if you remember what it was like last season, Wes.
I do.
The GT3
I
series,
do. There was so
15
much.
calculators out in the final round.
Yeah, I've still got the paperwork to prove how much there was anybody could have. To be fair, but we came into that last round. That's the thing. We came into the last round with a point between the top, three, I think it was, if I'm not wrong. So
yeah, it was incredibly close between the top.
So I'm absolutely fine with that sort of championship standings. That's fine for me. But yeah, I think, like, for example, in touring cars, we have points everywhere. We got point for pole, point for fast lap, point for leading a lap, point for leading most laps. Like, you get a lot of 1 points here, but I think the actual amount you can score is, for a race wins, I think, off the top of my head, is 30. So obviously 30 for a win, but then in here it's 35 for pole. So there is a lot of different ways you can do championship standings. Of course, then you got the F1 one where it's what, a point? Is it point for pole now? And it's, or is it not? It's not a point for pole, is it?
Yeah, point for pole, point for fastest lap,
and then 25, 18. There's so many different ways of doing point systems, and don't even get me started on then the rallycross ones, because I race rallycross and I don't even understand it. I don't know. I had to look the other day to see how many points I got, and I read it and went, how have I got that many? I don't even know. I don't know how it works. And I read the rules and I looked at it and going, I don't know.
And then you get into the wonderful world of dropped points as well.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Oh, but some people do drop points differently as well.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at the standings of rallycross the other day, and one championship, I've dropped 0 points because I didn't turn up to the event. But then the other championship, you can't drop 0 points. You have to drop your worst score when you turn up. And I'm like, oh my God. So but luckily there for me, it was still 0 because I did one where I got no points. So it didn't change my turn of events. But for everybody else, that actually dropped them. So I was just like, why is everybody doing things so differently? Like, oh, can't keep up.
What we need is a unified point system that every single form of motorsport uses from now until the end of time.
Well, it's like, could you imagine in some football, like they just randomly said, oh yeah, now if you score 1 goal, it's 2. That's what it's like sometimes. Sometimes it's like, that's what they've done. All of football is, of course, there's the same tally, but then in racing, it's like, oh no, but our point system's like this. And then it's just completely different, and you're like, Oh.
You know what I'd like to see as, by the way, keep an eye on Dylan van der Lands, by the way.
Yeah, a few people are going a bit...
All through the first sector.
Yeah.
And potentially might put himself on pole if he keeps that pace up.
What's Izzo done?
Izzo, he going to go fast? I don't think he's going to go fast enough.
Where's Dylan? Here he is. Then he's on the old pit straight. James has apparently just put a purple sector in from P5. Where is he?
Is he going fast enough, though? He's down in sectors 1, 2, and 3, going into the final sector now. Going into the club chicane. Very tricky, difficult to get the power down. Got to make sure you hold the throttle all the way through once you do get on throttle. The exit. Did he go fast enough? No, he was off by a few tenths. So Dylan van der Lands, one of the only people now, realistically, who could do it, but he's down. After being up in Sector 1, he's down in Sectors 2, 3, and 4, and he's in the pit lane. So, unfortunately, that will be that. I think Sebastian Van and Hooval and Aiden Young very much towing each other along, trying to get a bit more speed, but I don't think it's going to be enough, boys.
Oh, he's hit the curb big there as well. That sausage goes huge on the inside there. Won't want to be hitting that in the race. Lots of yellow sectors. Any improvements, though, in the end? Slight one, but not enough for a place.
So,
qualifying went pretty quick, I must admit, to be honest with you.
It's all that math.
Yeah, we're talking about maths and then it's just gone.
So, in terms of the LMP2 championship standings, then, if we're trying to do this live, why not? You know? With the points that Castellani and Izzo have scored, it's looking like Castellani has pretty much secured this. Unless Castellani drops down to... just trying to make sure that that gap is correct. Yeah, Castellani would have to finish 5th with Izzo finishing on... finishing the race in first. So Izzo needs to win the race, and Castellani needs to have a shocker, I think it would be the way to describe that if he did fall to P5. But plenty of quick people, as we can see, between 1st and 5th, so, you know, never count him out. If Castellani has an unfortunate incident, locks up the brakes into the loop for the first time, has a spin, Izzo gets through fine, Van der Land, Smits, Ibram get through fine, maybe even Young gets through fine, and then, yeah, he's going to have to start fighting his way back through, and if he can't, that will be all she wrote. But in terms of the qualifying results, Castellani was your pole position man, with Izzo in P2, 3 tenths off what Castellani was able to manage. So it's looking like Castellani has it all to lose. Izzo with absolutely no pressure behind him, because Van der Lands, I think now, unfortunately, can't really overtake him for P2. Speaking of Van der Lands is P3. With Frank Smits and James Ibram P4 and P5. Aiden Young P6 with Sebastian Van den Hooval in P7. Miki Goretza in P8 with Brody Maynard P9 and Leon Alpha there in P10 with no time. So interesting to see, did he have a quali ban or whether or not that was just he didn't qualify. In terms of your GT3 qualifying results, Fabio Ponta is on pole position with Luigi Nespolino P2. Raul Suarez P3 with Tim Perry P4. Niels Uman in P5 with Sean Gardner P6. Richard Zudovec in P7 with Lars Van Ryn P8. Stefan Albanese in P9 with Lewis Grieg P10. João Diaz P11. Thomas Amos P12. And our championship leader so far, Alessio Bernardi, at the back of the grid in P13. Interesting scenes as we gear up for the lights here for the finale of the season. And where's mate? I know we haven't commentated every race together, but it's been fun. The series has been fun so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, very much so. The highlight for me will be Fuji Turn 1, the Leo cars driving into the back of each other. The whole race in general, I'm not the biggest fan of Fuji, but it was actually a really good race. There was some really good racing, and yeah, that drama at the very start of it. Yeah, that would be my highlight off the top of my head. That's the one thing I remember from this season.
Following on immediately from that, Monza, same thing happens. Between the same drivers in the exact same order. So it was 2 weeks back to back that the same mistake happened. And you could argue a turning point in the championship.
Yeah, but I think that's where it started realistically to be. That's when we knew who was involved in the championship and the lead started to stretch out. Before that, it was, I'd say, LMP2 it was quite open, wasn't it, really? Yeah, James was fighting for it. What's his name? Benjamin was up there as well, fighting as well, so there was a few cars.
I mean, it was a shame that Ben seems to have dropped off. He only raced with us in 4 races, and in 2 of them he did really well, obviously winning the first race at Indianapolis with a magnificent 1-stop, where everyone else went on 2. And then in Watkins Glen, he had another really good turnout. And then just, Daytona, not the greatest result. Didn't turn up for Fuji, didn't turn up for Monza. Road America, he turns up and immediately straight back on it. Straight back into the podium. And then, just hasn't been with us for the rest of the season. So there has been some really, really quick guys who just haven't really been here for all of the rounds. And that's why, potentially, the guys who are currently the top 3 are so far out in front of everyone else because they have no drop rounds. They've been here for all 10 rounds in LMP2. Frank Smits had a drop round for Barcelona. James Ebram had a drop round for Barcelona. But both of those are fighting for P4 and P5 in the championship. Sebastian Van den Heuvel as well had a drop round for Fuji, but has been here every other round. And again, so you've got P4, 5, and 6 all battling for P4. So that'll be interesting. I think Frank Smits currently has the advantage there between all 4 of them.
Yeah, there's drivers like Hakon as well that we've seen a couple of times. That's taken a race win here and there and been right up there. But there's we've had drivers pop in and pop out to mix up the championship. But the ones that have been here throughout are the ones at the top. And that's kind of what you expect, really. You got to be here to win it.
It does surprise me, though, if we look at GT3 standings, the top 3 obviously have been here every single round, and we know who they are by now in GT3. It's the Leo Racing guys, because of course it would be. Yeah. Leo in GT3 has been pretty dominant. Raul Suarez behind them to make it a Porsche 1, 2, 3, 4. And Raul Suarez has missed 2 rounds. So he's missed 2 rounds and he's still 4th. Which shows you how good his results have been when he's actually here.
Yeah, fast car.
Very, very quick driver. Glamsetter has been here every single round and yet is behind Suarez by basically 50 points. So that's, again, interesting to note. As I believe we're on a short.
Yeah, it's a very short one, considering how big the track is.
Yep.
Forever, I'm going to be saying that now.
Biggest track on the calendar.
Biggest track on biggest track on the graphic. They're really going to have to sort that out for if we ever come back here. Huge.
Yeah, we're almost into club already, and they've only just recently set off, so not much time for the GTs to put themselves a gap.
Get those tyres warm as quick as you can. Turn 1's coming up pretty soon.
And leading you away into turn 1 will be Lorenzo Castellani. Can go whenever he wants to, and he goes right now, right in the middle of the corner, and leaves his teammate a bit shaken there, to be honest. Frank Smits makes the opportunity to go on green, and indeed Frank Smits is now trying to fight with Dylan van der Lands up the inside, going into the loop. Are we going to have anybody who causes any incidents? It looks like the P2 start has been pretty good, except for a spinner there in the background, but I don't think that affects the order too much as more chaos is going on here. Frank Smits, I believe that is, struggling, going off track there, and another spin, I believe that was of Mika Goretza there, maybe on the background, as we go into the loop for the GT3s, and the GT3s seeming like everything is all clean and calm for now, already going single file pretty much is the GT3s. Going now onto the back straight. Where is that Leo racing car? Keep an eye on Alessio Bernardi. He is already making up positions, already P9 off of his P13 start. So he got a mega jump from everyone else and has managed to make up a huge amount of time on Fabio Ponta. But Fabio Ponta and Alessio Bernardi, we know, are very similar in pace. So it's going to be interesting to see. Fabio Ponta doesn't have to worry about his teammates as much. And maybe we see a fight. James Ebram already up into P3, so that's interesting to see, as Dylan van der Lands has, in fact, dropped to P5. Niels Ullmann here, having a little bit of a mistake through... I always forget this corner's name.
Stowe? It's Stowe, isn't it? It's Stowe. Oh, he's going to lose the rear.
A little bit too much.
Oh, that would have been scary, as hoping no one hits him, and nobody does. Lovely. Oh, it should have gone back live, but it didn't. Lovely. He's fine. He's got that going.
Clean start from everyone, it feels like. It was just a couple of spins in the P2s. But beyond that, everyone else pretty much battling as you would expect, as Alessio Bernardi makes a switchback move on the Mercedes. And what a move it is, Bernardi. Take a bow, my friend. This is going to be some exciting racing for Alessio Bernardi. He is going to have to fight all the way back up to P4, remember, and then overtake Raul Suarez to win this championship. P4 won't do it, unless for some reason he gets the points for P12, in which case, I don't know what's going on. Pretty much, if he's talking with us at the end of the championship, or the end of this race, because he finished on the podium, then we can tell him that he's won the championship. If he finishes P4, it's a little bit up in the air. I'm not entirely sure whether or not that would work out.
Yeah, then it's somebody else's problem to work it out.
Yeah. But pretty much, he can guarantee it by finishing P3 or higher. But he's going to have to work hard for it. And so far, work hard has he done, because this is lap 2 of the 1 hour race. We have been driving for 3 minutes, and already Bernardi has gained 6 positions. 6 positions in 2 laps. It is absolutely mental what he is doing right now. He is hyped up from not doing qualifying in the way that he wanted to, and he is making that Porsche work absolutely for every position, going up the inside here of Gardner and making it look easy. So again, another overtake, and look up the road. He can see Tim Perry, and he can see Richard Zudovec, and again, Alessio Bernardi right now, I'd imagine when he crosses the line, he will be the fastest driver on track right now. I genuinely believe he's going to be the fastest one on track right now. And as I say that, he sets a purple lap. I mean, he's just on another planet right now. He's going into turn 1. Three-way battle here into turn 1. Mercedes having to use a bit of the brakes into turn 1, which is not something you often see. That was very, very close. As again, battling still continuing here between Lewis Grieg, Stefan, and Lars. Thomas Amos in the background, trying to get involved as well.
Yeah, this is for P9.
Is absolutely insane. They're battling out as this is for the lead of the race.
You said a second ago it's about 3 minutes in, and look at them. Someone tell them they've got an hour.
Lewis Grieg wrapping the same livery that his, I believe his teammate, which would be Sean. No, not Sean.
No, Sean as well, I believe.
Is Sean part of Crisps?
Sean. Yep, Sean.
No, Sean's part of Boosted. Lewis Greig's teammate is...
Oh, Lewis, yeah, oh yes, Lewis.
Just because I've forgotten.
Yes, I know who you're on about, but I can't think at this moment in time.
Glamsetter.
That's it.
That was it. And we do already have a post-race penalty, 5 seconds for car number 8, between an incident between himself and car number 55. So that's James Ebram. And the number 55 is Frank Smits. Interesting. So, James, currently, as it stands right now, if the race finished right now and he didn't have any penalties, I believe James would overtake Frank in the championship. As we see both Mercedes battling side by side with a lovely drone cam footage. Going into Stowe, going into Club now. And it is so close between both Lewis and Lars. Both drivers were trying to work really hard to muscle their Mercedes around this course and make it fast. And they're doing a pretty good job so far. Obviously, not quite as good as the Porsche Cup boys, as we see James Ebram.
This is
what happens between
it.
James and Frank. Yeah.
That's it.
It's a little bit too late on the brakes from James. Doesn't really hit the apex of the corner. Ends up having to use Frank as a little bit of an air brake. We'll see him here. James makes the corner and just understeers. He's still on the brakes, trying to avoid him the best he can, and yeah, just couldn't turn in enough.
I thought to myself when that first came up, I was like, I'm not sure if we saw an incident between them two, but that's the only thing I could find, and it didn't count as that. It counted as an overtake, but I thought maybe it's that one. Turns out it was, and yeah, so that's unfortunate for them. Well, unfortunate for Frank. I wonder if there's any damage. He has got back going in P7, but he hasn't made any inroads since.
Tim Perry and Raul Suarez, if they battle right now, look at who's behind them. Just going in the background there, Alessio Bernardi is really pushing this Porsche for everything it's worth. And Alessio started this race P13, and after 7 minutes, he's already up to P5. This has been one hell of a drive from Alessio so far, and it's not over yet. Keep in mind, Alessio, and we're gonna keep repeating it we're gonna keep repeating it during the stream because it needs to be said. Alessio, due to the lack of qualifying, needs to finish P3 to win the championship. So, if Tim Perry and Raul Suarez come together because they're battling too hard, potentially it gifts Alessio Bernardi the championship win. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm genuinely excited to see this battle unfold because Alessio Bernardi right now is currently the fastest GT3 on track. In terms of LMP, any guesses as to who's the fastest on track right now? In LMP? Any idea?
See when they cross the line. I'm not sure. Yeah. I think the leader. I think
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna guess. He's dropped everybody else by 4 seconds already. So
yeah. Castellani is sort of doing what he's done all season long, and he's gotten out to a lead and he's just run away with it. And unfortunately, that does mean that in terms of the championship, it is settled in LMP2. Castellani and Izzo are going to be P1 and P2. Izzo can't come under threat from Dylan van der Lands for a switch. Not unless van der Lands overtakes him.
Talk about a switch. Was that a switch? Did they just switch?
That's...
I'm going to replay it.
Was that a mistake?
Is it a mistake or is it a switch? That's a switch. Is that not a switch?
That is incredibly interesting. It's a slowdown penalty.
Is it?
From Fabio Ponta. Look at how slow he was on exit.
Oh, he's still...
And look at what Ponta is now.
Yeah, he's still...
That was definitely a slowdown penalty.
Wow, okay.
There's no way that that's anything other than a slowdown. This makes it interesting because Fabio Ponta needs to win this race if he wants to win the championship. He needs to win it. He can't finish P2.
He's now got everybody behind him as well. Look at that.
Oh, this is what we all want to see. We want to see an absolutely mega race here for the championship win. If Fabio wants it, he needs to go after it. He needs Nespolino to either make a mistake or he needs to be faster than him. Because as it stands right now, Nespolino is going to upset the order of the championship because Bernardi will win. And he doesn't even have to get past Tim Perry and Raul Suarez yet.
Well, Tim's currently P4, so this could all change very quickly. I know he's got to finish there, so if he gets past, anything can happen. But he's got to get back to P4.
As it stands right now, I believe if the race was to finish, and I know this is 11 minutes in, and we're talking about what the race would be like if it finished, but as it stands right now, I believe Bernardi would win the championship. Let me just remind myself of the point gap between the two of them.
We'll go back and just have a little watch of Dylan's pass there. Let's have a little watch. Does he... No, that's the wrong one. That's not Dylan's pass. This is Dylan's pass. Here's Dylan's pass then on Aiden. Going to be a bit slipstream up the inside. Break a little later. And lovely. Nice and easy done. And he's up into P4 in the LMP2s. But it's quite close still between the GT3s.
As it always is, to be honest.
Yeah.
The GT3s are always some of the closest things on track. And who can blame them? The championship is always so tight.
Yeah, this will be the third season, I think, of a tight championship. So, or at least it coming to the final round.
So, the points between 5th and 2nd, exactly 60 points between 5th and 2nd. The championship gap, as it stands after qualifying, with Bernardi taking points for P13 and Ponta taking qualifying pole points, 66. So Bernardi would win the championship by 6 points. And he doesn't even have to get past Perry at the moment. If Ponta puts another car between himself and Nespolino, that then makes the... That then means that Bernardi has to get into 3rd place. Because the gap between 1st and 4th is 70 points. As we see an incident here.
Oh no. Does he get back on?
Yeah. Frank Smits and Sebastian Van Hoovel coming together as... Unfortunately, GT's wrong place, wrong time.
Oh, there's a finishing
that one is.
Amos off. I'm not sure how he got there. So if rewind, we can see how he gets there. Does he get help? Oh, he does.
Yeah, once again.
Oh, is he
coded by an LMP, and yeah, it's all kicking off now.
Oh, here goes Aliso.
In the inside, Alessio Bernardi does get up the inside of Tim Perry, and that again is pushing the championship further in his grasp. And now Alessio Bernardi just has to overtake Raul Suarez, and it will not matter where Fabio Ponta finishes. Tim Perry very much left for dust immediately after that, so interesting to see. Alessio is really charging hard, though. He is trying to absolutely make that Porsche work. As there is absolute chaos here in the background.
I noticed James has got Izzo as well at some point. But yeah, I don't know where he's got that.
What between those two then?
Wonder if that's traffic or not. We will go find it, but lots of stuff's happening now to the point where it's going to be difficult maybe to find the pass. But he... Bastion's gone into the pits as well to get some damage done. He's going around everybody's outside here. Are they both going? No, just him. It's getting a bit tight in the leaders of each class and with each other now. Somewhere in here is the pass. I'm not sure where. It's hidden behind a crash, I think. Where is it? James. Here's James, isn't it? James passing.
Yep.
There he is, passing for P2. Let's have a little... Is it just all there? No, they're just racing together. So no back markers involved at all.
So Slipstream up the inside, and James Ebram is through. Parks it a little bit on the apex, but is there any fight back going into...
Wow, there's a lift off. There was a big lift.
I mean, I suppose Izzo is thinking a bit more long term, isn't he? He's thinking maybe I need to start saving fuel, thinking about the race strategy. Someone who definitely is not thinking about saving fuel, however, Alessio Bernardi still pushing. And again, I think the thing is, with Alessio Bernardi right now, by being so aggressive and pushing as hard as he is, as we see the massive slide there into club, and if he's pushing as hard as he is and making Fabio sweat, and making Fabio realize that it's not going to matter, if I overtake Raul Suarez, you can kiss that championship goodbye, it's done. It's settled.
Oh, they've swapped back.
Also, another mistake from Nespolino, I'm sure.
Yeah. Must have been. He's got him at the turn 3 there. That's interesting. I wonder
if we can maybe get an overview on that pass, potentially, as the GT3s are now back close again.
So,
ooh, that looks like
where is he? Wow, yeah.
Coming out of...
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there. That looked like a massive slide from him.
Yeah, he was... What's he done? I don't know. I can't get on board with him, sadly. But yeah, he's had a big moment in turn 1 there. Which has cost him the current lead. Stopped. Yeah, big slide then. So, it's... Look at them all. Top 5 here. All in your picture. Post-race penalty, 5 seconds for number 9. Which is... Thomas for the incident that I think got him spun with number 93. So who's that? Sebastian. So that's the one that got him spun, is it? I don't think it is. Yes, it might be. 5 seconds for... Oh wait, no, that's 55. So which one's Frank and Sebastian? Which is the one I think we saw down the home straight. Which was that 5 seconds? There we go. There's the move.
Make the move up the inside of Raul Suarez. Raul Suarez needs to fight back. They are very close together, a touch almost, as now Raul Suarez is going to try and fight back, but nothing is done about it. Unfortunately, Raul Suarez not quite quick enough into the club chicane, and Alessio Bernardi, as it stands right now, will be your championship winner, will be your GT3 leader in the IMSA series here at Anti-Stall Racing. And I don't think Bernardi's quite done yet. Something makes me think he wants to end this series with a race win, starting from the back. Alessio Bernardi, I'm not sure if you did this on purpose, mate, but you are currently fulfilling a last to first challenge. Now, I don't want to say that's rude, but in a unique situation to say that you're doing a last to first challenge and pulling it off is...
But yeah. He's got an hour to do it, and he's not even taken 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, and he's right on the back of Nespolino, who is right on the back of Fabio Ponta. The only way in which now Alessio loses the championship is if Alessio gets overtaken by Raul Suarez or any other GT3.
Oh, you're forgetting if they crash.
Well, yeah, I suppose he could crash, but I don't want
to. He's around his teammates, but you never know. The Leo guys have said that they were happily raced, so.
I believe it was actually on an interview with Alessio Bernardi after, was it last round or the round before? He said that, well, we're teammates off the track. When we're on the track, we're enemies.
Yeah, which is just fantastic.
That means there's no team orders. Everyone is fighting for absolutely everything. And look at them. All three Leo racing cars, all within a second of each other. And Alessio is not going to let off. He's going to let Nespolino know he's there. And he is going to very much try to make that move work.
Yeah, you would think that they're all in the top three. It's a nice 1, 2, 3. They're going to stay there. Nope, they're not going to stay like this. They're going to race each other for this top three. That's the fun part. Any other team would be like, yeah, we've got it. Stay as you are. Everyone's happy. Nope. These guys will race for the win. They all want it. you can see how close he's getting already. Like they're going to give it a good go. They should be respectful to each other as their teammates. But I think also when you're teammates and you have that understanding that we will race, you almost a little bit are harder on each other because it's your teammate. You can get away with it. You know what I mean? You can. The point is not to hit each other, but you can really push each other to the limit and get away with it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing as well is if you've raced with these guys for so long, you know how they drive, you know sort of their strengths and weaknesses, and you can almost use that in a bit of a psychological warfare between the drivers. You know, Alessio probably knows where Luigi is not as fast and is going to use that to his advantage the best he can and try and make the move stick. And you know, if he does, that's again another position that he's gained, and the championship opens up once more. Alessio doesn't need to fight this. Alessio can just finish here and just say, you know what, I'm going to finish P3, I've won the championship, I'm not going to, like, push anymore, I'm just going to relax, chill. But he's not.
No.
He's still fighting for everything he can, and he's just so quick compared to his teammate. He's quicker than anyone else out here. Going into... yeah, I mean,
yeah,
he loves that move.
Yeah, he says that he's done it. I think he technically had the move done coming out the last corner. Like, yeah, now he's into P2, and we're 21 minutes in, about 22. One more car to get. Oh, he's hit the curb a bit there, but, you know, he's not put a foot wrong. So I think he got 4 cars off the start, didn't he? So his start was fantastic. That's really what's helped him here. He hasn't been in too much traffic.
And again, look at the lap times. 1 minute 57.455 while overtaking a car from Alessio Bernardi, and Fabio Ponta out there by himself has done his personal best, 147.5. So Bernardi is faster and is battling. So when he has clean air, what on earth is Bernardi's pace going to look like?
Yeah, it's true. It says Izzo has gone off. But he hasn't lost loads of time, but we will have a look at it. See how badly he's gone off. What counts
this is
not?
Through Chapel.
Ooh, a little bit of a bad one. I guess you could have dropped it there. Bit of high speed cutting the grass, yeah.
World's fastest and most expensive lawnmower.
Yeah, that's all cars are, aren't they? They're just massive lawnmowers when you need it.
Especially with how low these cars are to the ground as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What's happening here then? Some passing going on between Diaz and Stefan. There is Frank and Aiden are swapping places because I think Aiden's gone in the pits, so of course he passed him. So the first proper pit stop for an LMP2 car has happened, and it's Aiden. Now they're going to go side by side through Stowe here. Are these two? And that's, well, it's a bit wide, but that's how you do it in cleanly, I guess. Happily taken off track to keep it.
Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen take notes.
Yeah. Izzo's lost a place to Dylan as well now. Don't know how he's done that, but he has. So, a little look at the path. Is it to do with the going off? Has he known he's slowing? He's going.
Limits.
Oh, he's slowing. Yeah, must have been. Look at that. It's a slow down. So he's lost
lots of slowdowns into T1, which is interesting. Oh my lord! I've just seen that lap from Alessio Bernardi, 156.9.
Oh, has he? He's been on the limit there of that turn 1, because I did see when I popped in the session it said about the exit of turn 1 and the entry taking too much curve. He took a lot there, but he's found the limit of the curve.
And Alessio, he's using it to the best of his advantage, isn't he?
Oh,
he's piling on the pressure, and unfortunately, it's looking as though Fabio Ponta, as Lorenzo Castellani, is coming into the pit lane along with James Ebram, and I'm sure Dylan van der Lands will follow suit. Alessandro Izzo probably also going to follow suit, and indeed he does. Frank Smits, I imagine, will come in, and we're going to see everybody in LMP2 make a pit stop.
Okay, all go.
But yeah, it is once again battle for the race win between Fabio Ponta and Alessio Bernardi, and not for the championship win. Alessio Bernardi already has the championship secured. He doesn't need to overtake Fabio, but I think it's just more bragging rights at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just he wants to win. and I don't blame him. He's got a good run, but probably not going to get it this time. But yeah, no, there's a reason why he's winning the championship. He likes to win and he wants to win, and when he's got the chance to, he will give it his best go. And that's what we're seeing. Is there's a big Porsche building in the background, so it's probably a good place to get some pictures of the Porsche cars up the front. Of course, top 5 all Porsches. As are they all coming in one big foul swoop? I think it might be.
Indeed, they are. So this is going to be quite important for Fabio Ponta. He needs to hit his marks, and he needs to hit them well, as all of the Porsches are in at the same time.
I've just noticed Izzo's still in the pits. Why is Izzo still in the pits? He's been in the pits way too long. I can't.
Damage, potentially?
Maybe, because I can't see him, but he's yeah, he's been in the pits for a little while. He's just leaving now.
Out now.
He was in there for 40 seconds longer than anybody else in his box. Wonder why that was.
So, we're basically saying now then, Izzo, I don't want to say that he's lost
and
the championship.
The lead's changed in the pits as well.
Oh, Bernardi has done what Bernardi wants to do, is now leading not only the championship, but the race as well. I think we can call this last to first challenge successful so far, as indeed Alessio Bernardi is now your race leader.
He was a second quicker in the pits, in the box itself. And than anyone as well, as looking at how quick everyone's been. He was the quickest in the actual box itself. So unless he's put just a little less fuel than everybody else in. But yeah, everybody was 15 seconds or more. He was 14.7. So interesting note.
1 second less of fuel. Potentially going to be quicker out on track, but has to obviously take maybe a bit more fuel near the end.
Yeah, he might even just go back into the slipstream and just save like that. If he might do. He's got no problems with sitting just behind the car. You know what I mean? We've seen him come through the field. If he needs to save a bit of fuel, he could just let Fabio through and stick behind him for a few laps and lift off a little bit earlier. That'll get him probably to the same point.
That means Alessio Bernardi isn't leading the race. And Alessio Bernardi wants to lead the race.
Well, he is the guy that we've... I don't think he's shy in overtaking. So he should be alright.
No.
Yes.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's...
just look at it. It's sickening, isn't it? It really is. It is.
For everybody else in the race, yeah, it is a little, isn't it?
I think if you're Fabio Ponta, you're almost looking at Alessio in front of you and going, well, how's he manage that then? Did anyone fight him?
Yeah. Did anybody put up a fight? Like,
did everyone just go, oh no, we'll roll out the red carpet for you, Alessio, you know, just go on through, mate.
I think they should allow Sebastian Vettel to do that at the weekend. Just let him start at the back, and then no one fight him and let him come through. Yeah. Make it like 2012 all over again or something. Let him come through the field.
Yeah, because he's announced his retirement, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, everybody hated him when he was winning, but now they all love him when he's not. So, one of those, but he is a lovely man. He is the epitome of someone that is a racing driver is him. He will get in anything and he'll drive it. He's not for the fame, nothing that. He's just a nice guy that likes cars and he likes going fast. Which is, it's lovely. Lovely to see in this day and age where it's just straight up he's a nerd. I love the fact that he can name every Formula 1 world champion ever. Like, that is a nerd. That is a cool guy in my books if he just knows. You don't love the sport and, you know what I mean? You can't fake loving the sport and know that. He has to just absolutely love it. Because that is it's so cool to see that. But yeah, he's ashamed he'll be missed. A few of the guys leaving this season will be missed. But I think Vettel will be missed more than... Well, when Alonso left, obviously, everyone said how much he was going to be missed and he was great. I think Vettel was bigger than that, so... Shame.
Yeah, I think the thing is a lot of people knew Alonso might be back.
Yeah, they knew he'd come back in a little bit.
He says he's going to retire and he'll just come back, and then I think deadens the impact, doesn't it? I
Yeah,
think.
when Alonso leaves again, it's not going to be as big because it's like when Massa left. That is another lovely lap time.
Yeah,
He put a little less fuel in, but I don't think that matters to that lap time. That's nothing to do with fuel.
Almost 1 second faster than Fabio last lap.
He's just a second faster in everything he does. When he pits, he's a second quicker. When he goes out on track, when he overtakes, everything. Yeah.
He's superhuman. Can we actually see whether or not Alessio has a different calf to everybody else? Can we, like, check his setup and make sure that everything's all legal? Because, I mean, he's just making a mockery of it.
I was watching his speed then down the straight, and it's alright. Fabio did the same speed in a straight line, so it's not the engine. It's, what do you call him?
It's just the driver.
What did Colin McRae say? He said something about good drivers, something about fast corners. Like, don't have the fast driver doesn't do it on the straights or whatever. It's something to do with the corners, and this is just... He must be nailing every single one, every single lap. He's 2 seconds now. Yeah. It's not like these guys are slow either. These guys are extremely fast. We've had Luigi fight for championships here and everything. Like, he's been fighting for race wins, but I just don't know. Oh, Louis gone off, sadly. And sadly for him, we're going to watch it.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no, I see an LP2 involved as well. That's always the scary part. Has he gone? Oh, he's... No, oh.
He's just decided to pull off.
Oh, okay, maybe it's something else. Okay. That's an unfortunate way to end his season, but... Yeah,
ran out of fuel, maybe?
He may... I don't know how big of the gap was to the car ahead. It may be down to... There's a long way to go, and he's not going to get any prizes. Sometimes happens right at the end when there isn't much left to play for.
You'll retire, jump the fence, and chill.
Have an ice cream.
On Monaco seaboats, as Raikkonen did, I believe.
Yeah, nah, go back to Miami and go sit at the fake marina.
In the fake marina.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, did you see Bernardi's last lap again?
Oh, yeah, another one.
1 second quicker than what Ponta's able to do. The man is a machine. He's not human.
These Mercs are still fighting. They're still going.
It's cool to see. It's absolutely cool to see. The Mercedes, Lars Van Rijn, and that is...
They survived. Carry on like nothing happened.
They build them tough in Germany. Absolutely, they build them tough in Germany.
Has he got a slowdown or has he just let him back go? I think he may have a slowdown for going wide there, but... Oh, there's another car involved now. Stefan's involved. Oh,
and here comes the P2.
Oh. Yeah, here comes the P2, though. Spoil the fun.
Dylan van der Lands is... oh, boy.
Oh, he wants to get through quick, too. Careful, everybody. It's a wide circuit. Do you remember when Raikkonen hit the wall there under the bridge? Oh, that was a big one. Oh, Stefan! Oh, they touched doors!
Oh.
Ah, he's still going. Nothing happened. He didn't technically spin. He's still going. He never once stopped.
I'm tough in Germany.
Oh,
the Japanese Mercedes, the Good Smile Racing Mercedes, built different.
Yeah, he's got 2 whacks in each door.
Stefan.
It's just, I think that's just racing. I'd be surprised if they got anything for that. I'll watch it again, but anything when it's door to door, I like to say it's just racing, but that's because I'm built like that. But this...
It's just a bit unfortunate, isn't it?
It's unfortunate that he spun. Well, yeah, because I think... Yeah, it's unfortunate that he didn't technically spin, he just drifted.
You could make the argument that maybe Stefan could have been a bit further over, but also João Diaz could have also left him more room on the inside as well.
Yeah, so, you could argue that he turned in and there was a car there, and technically it's the car that turns in full. But yeah, that's, of course, remember, this day and age of racing, there's no such thing as a racing incident anymore.
No.
You can't dare have one of them, which is crazy to me.
Everyone has to be blamed.
There has to be a blame, yeah. Where there's a claim, there's a blame, and that's they've taken that in racing these days, and they way overuse it. But yeah, no, if that to me is the epitome of a racing incident. They're door to door. Yeah, each one's going to blame the other. But yeah, I don't think you could possibly actually say that. No, that is 100% your fault for that.
No, I mean, understeered,
Hmm.
maybe broke a little bit too late from Stefan, but the Mercedes could have turned in a bit later.
Yeah.
Could have looked for a switchback move,
Yeah.
braked earlier, and let the car float underneath him, and then overtake him afterwards.
Yeah, because
It's
Stefan was technically well within his rights to be there, and he wasn't going to miss the corner. It reminds me of Nico and Lewis when Nico just decided he wasn't going to turn into the apex.
yeah,
Technically, I think Hamilton's fault because he turned in, as you expect, because you expect the car in front of you, to side you, to turn. Technically, Hamilton, he's meant to turn. He's meant to hit the apex, but technically he didn't have to. He could turn in when he likes. But I remember that. I remember shouting at the TV back then, thinking, "Oh, that's Nico's fault because he didn't turn in." But then, as I matured, I thought actually, he's technically entitled to turn in whenever the hell he likes, because, like in an insurance claim, if you hit the car in front of you, but he brake checked you, well, why'd you hit him? You shouldn't have been that close. It's technically always the car that hits the other one's fault, but it's you gotta love racing, haven't you? Because it's very opinionated, and I would say there is no black and white like line saying that's the rules, but these days there's your tyre has to be alongside. Apparently now, isn't it? It's actually has to be fully alongside the other car, otherwise then it's the other person's fault, which is crazy still. I still expect there to be racing incidents, as I think we just read that the one we're on about is getting looked at, maybe, but something was getting looked at. Let me see, 66, 666 and 2. 2?
Which would be...
29, sorry, yeah, 666 and 29. That's the one we watched, yeah. Which is, no, yeah, Joel and Lars. Yes, that's what we saw, isn't it? No, we saw Stefan, wasn't we?
No, so there was two incidents. Remember, there was the one with Lars Van Ryn where it was that initial contact.
Was it the curb? Oh, it was the curb one, wasn't it? Was it this one?
Yeah,
okay, so that's been looked at, is it?
I would imagine so. I mean, you can't really put blame on Lars.
He's hit the curb, like, yeah. I don't know.
If you want to throw fingers around, you should have turned in later because you hit the curb.
Yeah, if you want, I'm intrigued by that one because you can tell, you can say he hit the curb, so it's his fault. But then, oh god, no,
it's the curb, mate. Like the curb shouldn't have been there. Like, can we just agree that sausage curbs are pointless?
Oh, they're dangerous, is what they are. Yeah.
Can we all just have this agreement that sausage curbs are pointless?
Yeah, they're dangerous. Who was it? Is it Abby Eaton that got both her collarbones broken in the W series by a sausage curb, or is it Alice Pat? No, it was Abby Eaton, I think. Got both her collarbones broken.
There was another one, wasn't there? That was in F3 in Macau.
Oh,
where they got launched into a building.
Oh my god, yeah, I saw that one. Who was that? Was what's her name? Oh, was it Sophia? Was it?
Nice one, race control, being professional as always.
Warning for 60. Okay, a warning. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's probably as spot on as you're going to get there. Warning for, I guess. Yeah, sure. That's not a penalty. That works. And yeah, penalty for the curb. So that's one for the curb.
Yeah, just avoid that curb needs to be gone. Can someone get someone else who knows someone from iRacing to sort it out?
Yeah, was that Sophia? I can't remember the last time. Was it? It's like for
Sophia Fleur.
That's it. Yeah, I think it was her, wasn't it? Flew into the scaffolding, really, wasn't it? Holding up the cameraman or something. Oh, that was insane.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was scary because she comes in with so much speed.
But that wasn't from a curb. That was from another car, I believe.
I think she hit a car and then she went on a sausage curb and it flung her up. The sausage curb acted as a ramp, which is insane. Oh, that was.
There was another one at Monza, wasn't there?
Oh, at the
in F.
Yeah, the
F3
last curb, wasn't it? You went over into the tyre wall. Yeah, some of them ridiculous. They shouldn't be there.
No,
shouldn't be there. Put a tyre wall, for God's sake. Put a damn tyre wall. That is much. If you want to stop them going there, A wall. That works. A tyre wall. Something you can move or hit, or not something that's going to throw them in the air. To test the safety. Like, this does not needed. They're not airplanes. They don't... Put a wall. That'll work. Hay bales used to work, for crying out loud. You know what I mean?
It's like a Knock Hill, isn't it? Where the chicane as you go up the hill
has a tire.
It has the tire stack.
Yeah.
But the amount of times that those tire stacks just go flying.
You got to put it there at least to stop them, and then you hit it, and then
and then it's just like, well, it's not there anymore. So
you tried.
I think that would be just what happens, wouldn't it? It would just be everyone just like...
If you put tire walls everywhere, they'd start hitting them. But it would...
I mean, to be fair,
in open wheel,
Formula 1 at least,
it would discourage them.
different.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to hit it. It would discourage them in Formula 1. It would work. Maybe.
I mean, the whole front of the car would be just destroyed.
I don't know, these days. They build them pretty strong, don't they? Depending on the tire wall, because these days the front wings seem to survive a lot. More.
Yeah, I suppose so. These cars are definitely not as fragile. There's less complexity in them as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, we saw it the weekend with the crash that happened that destroyed front wings, and everyone just kept going like nothing happened. So all Leclerc literally going into the wall and just kept driving, which, you know, a couple of years ago I think that car would have been totaled.
Wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it's insane. So good. It's awesome to see that, to be honest, to see that car can keep going. But yeah. Firewalls, I would prefer over sausage curbs any day of the week, and there's just cars everywhere at the moment. And that's a lap time again.
Since, I mean, since Bernardi's gotten past, he has set, like...
Stefan had a little look. It was a bit late. He survived, but he had a little late one there.
I'm pretty sure Alessio, since he got past Fabio Ponta, has not done a slower lap. I genuinely think he's gone quicker every single lap.
I wonder why he'd...
It's just... He's on another level.
Oh, could I get this up? What does that show? What's that showing me? Does that show me?
So that will show him the difference to the car in front.
Oh, that's sad. Hang on, let's go on to Fabio then. Maybe that's the one we want. That's the one we want, isn't it? There's lap times.
I don't know, not quite gone faster every single lap.
Oh, lap
but it's
20.
Pretty close.
He may have some traffic though on that lap. You never know. That might have been the issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has gone for it, hasn't he?
He's done a lot of 56s, put it that way.
Yeah, he's
James Ebram in the pits. Potentially an early pit stop for James. Hitting with 25 minutes to go. Well, 27 minutes to go, actually. Is he going to be able to make it to the end? Because they went... How long did they go on the first pit stop? 20...
He's put 6 seconds less of fuel on as well. So he must have calculated this. If he's done that, me, he will make it to the end because he's clearly put less fuel in, and he's gone on a different strategy to everyone else. So he's calculated something there that he's thought is going to work for him.
That'll be interesting, definitely, to see whether or not it works out. But yeah, Tim Perry trying to battle his way through.
It's about right, to be fair, because they have all done about 10 laps, the LMP2s, on their current stints, and it says recommends we've got about 10 to get, 10ish to go. So to be fair, he is putting it at sort of the same. I'm intrigued. Yeah, I'm intrigued here.
Anybody want to make a guess what position Tim Perry is currently fighting for?
Yeah, my bet needs to come in here. He needs to get past Rule pretty quick to get my bet in. The guaranteed bet isn't on at the moment.
Tim Perry has just set his personal best lap. Same with Raul Suarez. So Tim is pushing Raul on. And it looks as though Raul is slightly faster than Tim, honestly. But Tim is trying to make that car work for him. Mr. P4, as we know and love him. Mr. Tim Perry. Let's see what he can do. Whether or not he can get P4 with 15 minutes to go. Of this race.
That Mr. TP4 really works, because I've just noticed that his first name has 3 letters, his last name has 5, and his nickname is to do with 4, so it really works well, that. He's just 345 is what he is. It's just great. What's his numbers? 83. Oh, that's a shame. He needs number 4 next season.
Yeah, Yeah,
Fully needs number 4.
I think last week he was in on an interview, and I believe that was one of the things we mentioned was that you missed out on an opportunity to have 4 as your number this season. And I think he laughed about it and said, "I'll probably go for that next season."
I think we should reserve it for him, to be honest. Anybody got 4 here?
It as Tim Perry.
Nobody in the session at the moment has number 4, so we need to reserve that for next season for him. It works really well.
And I suppose the best thing as well, Mr. P4, there's only 4 letters, well, 3 letters and a number in there. It works.
Yeah, it really works. Oh, it's just so good. So good.
Our creativity, it's unparalleled, honestly.
And he's not pitting. He's going a lap longer than everybody else here. He will lead, well, technically will across the line. Maybe next lap when he pits, but there you go.
Tim Perry is no longer Mr. P4. He is Mr. P1.
He's done it.
For now until Alessio Bernardi decides that he's going to absolutely wipe the floor.
But to be fair,
with everybody else on
yeah,
track.
Lisso's pitted and he's only actually about 7 seconds behind him, so...
Yeah, there he is.
He might,
saw him
he might not even lead the lap when he pits, to be fair, Tim. So I've said that a bit early.
That would be a shame. I mean, I don't think Tim is 7 seconds slower than Alessio. I'm gonna be honest. Like, a second, maybe 2 seconds, but not 7. I think it's pretty safe to say Tim Perry is gonna lead a lap here. Mr. P4 leading a race. Needs to be careful that he doesn't have a nosebleed being so high up.
Yeah, he's just trying to find 4th. He's just confused. Where's everybody gone?
I was battling for P4. What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Where's everybody gone? I'm not... What's this P1 business?
Blue Chief would have told him that he's currently in P1, and he'll be like, "What?
Oh, I better slow down then."
We do like to have a laugh here, though, anti-stall. It's all good fun. I'm sure if Tim watches back,
yeah, I'm sure he'll enjoy that. You're very welcome, Tim. I'm hoping he wakes up in the morning, watches it, and has a nice little giggle to himself when he watches it.
But 12 minutes near enough of this race to go, and to be honest, Wes, this race has been action-packed from start to finish.
Yeah, it's been mostly with the GT3s, I must say, as well. They've had a big, long battle.
I mean, in fairness, Alessio provided, like, at least the first 20 minutes of action, didn't he?
Yeah, if you wanted to know what the action was, you just went on board with him to see where he was. He was just passing another car.
As Dylan Van der Lands and Frank Smits have come in.
Perry didn't pit, so he's definitely led a lap. He didn't pit. He's gone too longer than everybody else.
I mean, he's got to put in less fuel, which means his pit stop's going to be shorter. Can we go on board with James and see where James is at the moment?
There he
Let's
is.
see if he can come out. Oh, he's going to come out ahead of Dylan, easily.
Yeah.
Indeed he has.
So Dylan's put 6 seconds less fuel in than James did. Rules apparently crashed. There he is.
Oh, jeez.
He was spinning there.
There he is.
Oh, that might just confirm P4 for Tim. What's happened? That's not his crash, or is it? Where is he crashed? Oh, next corner, isn't it?
Yeah. Going into the braking zone.
It's going. It's
too much.
Gone. And a nice little donut. Oh, that's lovely. That's actually a really nice recovery, that.
Well, he hasn't won the championship, so I think the only person who can do that is Alessio, really.
That's an absolutely lovely donut, that is. Oh, I've just spun. Ah, well, just all lock right.
I only have 10 more minutes. It'll be fine. Tires will be fine.
Yeah. Someone tell Tim he can...
Castellani into the pit lane. And where is James Ebram? Is James too far away from Castellani?
Or Magnussen Beckett's...
Yeah, that's pretty far, isn't it?
The amount
It's quite a short pit lane here,
yeah,
isn't it?
he's only going to be in there for about 35 seconds as well, because he's not going to put loads of fuel in. But yeah, it's a big ask to catch up that quick.
Although, he has only just stopped in his pit box. He still has another 10 seconds. So Castellani currently still in the
Oh,
box.
he's put
and
it
he is
in.
going now. Alessio Bernardi almost did a 55, by the way. What the actual madness is Bernardi doing?
Well, Stefan has apparently crashed. A little look at what he's gone and done. On his own as well. Into Stowe, maybe. Is the rear end going to get out on that Porsche?
I would imagine so.
Oh, yep. It's going, gone.
Oh,
yeah,
it's always scary.
it was a little bit of a scary one, isn't it? But he's got out of that unscathed, and everybody got past him nicely. So Islo's just gone in the pit after whatever happened earlier. This pit stop, hopefully for him, is a bit quicker than the last one. He's not been able to recover.
I'm still confused as to what happened.
Yeah, I am too. He didn't. Yeah, I don't know. It was just so much longer than everybody else's.
Is Tim gonna come into the pits at any point?
Yeah, I was about to question that. Is he doing a one or is he gonna pit?
Because if he is, Alessio Bernardi is
He is coming for him.
Yeah. But if Tim is doing a one-stop strategy, I mean, he pit on lap 13. There's no way he makes it. Okay, good. I was starting to panic a little, and I was like, is Tim actually going to do it?
Yeah.
Is he gonna do the one-stop?
He can't be putting much fuel in. A lot longer than everybody else. So he did lead more than one lap then, so he'll be happy with that. See where it comes out. He should come out now a solid P4 after Laura's spinning.
Mr. P4 indeed.
Well, he's full on the limiter there.
That was quick. 8-second pit stop. Blimmin' heck.
Yeah, straight out in P4 as well, and not too far behind Luigi, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, potential for a podium here for Tim Perry. I mean, it's going to be a pretty big ask, but...
He's got barely any fuel on board, so maybe. See what his lap times are like. But he's in the P4 like you expect.
Yep. Mr. P4, currently in P4, rocking the number 83.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be changing for next season.
4th Porsche as well. 4th best Porsche. So,
I think, yeah, he's used to that bit. Definitely used to that. So many other Porsches ahead of him.
Is he P4 in the championship as well, just to really cement?
I really hope so.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh.
Because he's missed out in Fuji, Monza, and Road America. He's missed out, so he's not P4 in the championship.
If we put P4 points onto his results, though, would he have been?
I would have to work out what would that be every single race.
Yeah.
It's looking like 306 points, so let's see.
I reckon he would end up P4.
Yes. No, he'd be P3.
Ah, that's a shame.
Yeah, if he finished P4 in Fuji, Monza, and Road America, he'd be P3 right now. He'd be ahead of Luigi Nespolino in the championship, which is interesting.
Okay.
By almost 200 points. It's because Nespolino has finished behind Tim Perry in a few races, so yeah, I guess being consistent really does help in the championship. And, you know, the fact that he's done it every single race is, maybe next season he'll be Mr. P3. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Never know at all.
The only way is up, is what they say. I suppose, to be fair, if you're honest with Tim Perry and his performance this season, it has been incredibly good to watch and see how he's progressed through well, I say progressed. He's finished P4 in every race. That's not very much of a progression, but like in terms of everyone seems to have gone faster, and he's kept up.
He's gone with them. Yeah.
So
it's not like he's P4 far back either. He's right on him every time.
Well, he's P4, 4 seconds back.
Yeah.
He seems to love the number 4. Does Tim Perry?
At some point, we're going to think he's doing it on purpose, but... I really hope it's...
in P4, 4 seconds behind Nespolino.
I hope it's
for the meme.
4.444 is what I hope he finishes at. If they can try and work that out, that'd be incredible. That'd be... very happy with that.
But 4 more minutes left in the finale here in the IMSA series.
I'm gonna go off Tim now. That is just so much.
We're done. Yes. Stream's over. We've just cemented it. Tim Perry is he has cursed us to only see the number 4.
That's what I'm seeing whenever I look at things. I can't go.
His personal best lap though. It wasn't a 157.
Yeah, there's no 4s in it. Oh god. The only number it was missing out was actually the number 4. We had 3, 5, 6 in it. Oh god. Oh no, right.
We like to have some fun here.
Yeah, who had penalties then?
Absolute nonsense.
Coming towards the end. Who had penalties in this race to have a look at? Ah, God! Good God, that's our leader. Get me.
It almost wasn't our leader anymore.
Yeah.
The Mercedes needs to be watching out for the P2s. That was almost very tragic. That reminds me of Fernando Alonso at Silverstone in the World Endurance Championship, driving for Toyota, having to catch up to, I believe it was the number 7 Toyota crew, and slicing his way through the GT and LMP2 traffic. It's a similar sort of thing. GT turned in on him, he had to slice through that one, cut up an LMP2 ahead of him to make sure that he could get into club unscathed. Watching the onboards on it was very intense, so I'd imagine how Fernando felt. Although I suppose if you're a driver, you don't really feel a thing, do you? You just sort of get on with it.
Yeah, you sort of just do and react later. Once you get out of the car is when you notice what happened. Sometimes. Happens so quick.
You get out of the car, watch it back and go, ooh, that was a bit close.
Yeah, sometimes it's closer on the camera than it was than you think in the car. Sometimes it's quite close here for P9, so not all the fights are over yet. I couldn't find exactly who had penalties. I think there was 2, wasn't there? 2 5 seconds at some for 2 cars. One an LP2 and one GT3, but I can't remember exactly who was who.
Well, James Ebram did have a 5-second penalty
That's
as well.
The one,
but
and he is going to lose a place, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's actually no, he will. Dylan van der Land's 2 seconds behind him. I was looking at that interval and thinking it was a 10-second gap between Ebram and Dylan, but it's not. So yeah, I mean that will put Dylan van der Land's in P2. James will get demoted to P3 due to the post-race penalty. Which is always a bit annoying to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Dylan wants to get him, actually. Looking at he's closed that gap down. He's just passing a few of the duty-free traffic and flashing his lights. He actually might try and get him on the circuit rather than on the stewards.
This will be our final lap. Going on to the final lap of the race here for the P2s. And as a result, the GT3s as well. Dylan van der Land's. You've got 1 lap. I don't know how many corners that makes it.
Oh no, Fabio has apparently crashed from P2. He has, he spun. Don't worry, he's still P2.
But now,
he had how much gap did they have?
I think he had like an 8-second gap to Nespolino.
Done. Spun into Maggots and Beckett's then. Hasn't lost a place, but that would have made him a bit wake him up a little.
Maggots on the curbs. Into Beckett, still on the curbs. Ooh. And it was on the change of direction. Interesting.
I said no.
Yeah.
Is our
Porsche obviously known for that.
Yeah, car not very good at changing directions, that car, apparently.
Well, they're known for being a bit on the edge in terms of their driving.
Yeah. Of a certain style to drive them.
As Castellani is nearing the end of the lap to win here at Silverstone. Wonder if we can maybe get him just crossing the line. Coming through the penultimate corner down into Club and Vale. As Dylan van der Lands, by the way, is right on the back end of James Ebram. So once we see Lorenzo Castellani cross the line, we will jump on board with Dylan van der Lands and see whether or not you can get James Ebram on track here. But that is a win for Lorenzo Castellani in Silverstone for the finale. Castellani does take the championship win. Dylan van der Lands will secure P2, but only due to the 5-second penalty from James Ebram. It was an incredibly fought battle between the two of them. Very, very cool to see James Ebram up there on the podium with Dylan van der Lands. João Diaz and Niels Ullmann battling all the way to the line. It was one of our closest GT3 battles all race. And João Diaz does come out on top. Frank Smits does finish P4 in LMP. Sebastian Van den Heuvel will finish P5 provided nothing else happens. As Alessio Bernardi coming into round the final few corners here of the Silverstone circuit has done an amazing drive starting from last place, making his way all the way up through to win here at Silverstone, take the championship in GT3. Alessio Bernardi take a bow. Last to first challenge successfully completed. Championship secured. Fabio Ponta coming across the line for P2. Luigi Nespolino finishing very, very close in P3. Tim Perry, Mr. P4, finishing in P4. Raul Suarez in P5. And Sean Gardner, P6 for your GT3s. And once again was another amazing race from the IMSA group.
Yeah, very, very good race. Very good way to finish the season.
What a race it was. Alessio Bernardi and Lorenzo Castellani have indeed secured the championship, and it is a shame to see Castellani not doing some donuts on the start-finish line. Wonder if Alessio will be for us.
Yes, alright, he's found him.
There we go. Alessio has done at least. Doing some donuts. Last to first challenge successfully completed. Championship secured. Alessio Bernardi, take a bow, my friend. Synchronized donuts from all of the Leo crew. That's cool to see.
Ah, it's lovely donuts as well, by the way, by Alyssa. Look at that. He is spot on with them as well. That is actually spot on. Oh, he's got a bit now, but for a second there.
He was pretty much perfect.
Yeah, it was an absolute perfect donut. He's going to end up doing the Audi logo, isn't he?
Yeah, the 4 rings.
Oh, fantastic.
What a race that was. I mean, what a way to finish the season was. Action and drama throughout the championship, but indeed it did go the way of Alessio Bernardi in GT3. And in LMP2, Lorenzo Castellani, never in doubt really, has secured the LMP2 win. And, you know, we were thinking this season would be an interesting one, and indeed it has been. Everyone in both classes has been incredibly quick. And, you know, I can't wait to do it again next season, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the information to come out and all the new calendar and see what the new drivers, see what cars and liveries they turn up in and who changes what and everything. It's been brilliant. Should be an absolute brilliant one again next season. It's been great. Absolutely great this season. Are these two teammates going to park up or are they going to cross the line? No, I see. Or are they going to park? Or they're just going to synchronize as they line. They're going to park on the side? No, they're just flashing their lights. Lovely. Synchronized finishing by 2. teammates. Both of these take part in the TCR series as well. Or if they take part in the IndyCar. Are they parking up nicely? They're going to attempt it. No, hang on. Maybe. Lovely image. Yeah, that one's... Look at that. It's actually lovely if you zoom in nicely.
I mean, what a shot to,
Yeah.
to end the season. I mean, that was, yeah, one heck of a race. And you know, it wouldn't be the same without all of our drivers, without everyone else behind the scenes that makes it work. So again, thank you to everyone who turned out. Race Control, always doing a, you know, let's be honest, they do a good job for what they do, but controversial as always. You can never really get away from controversial opinions when you are in the Race Control team, but we do have Alessio and Lorenzo waiting to be pulled in for interviews.
Do you want the LMP2 one first?
Let's get Alessio in first. I wanna talk to him first. We'll get the GT3 and then we'll get the LMPs.
Yep.
Alessio, congratulations, mate. Championship win secured and last to first challenge completed. How was that for you, mate? Nope. As we see whether or not Alessio is actually here.
Or to be fair, which one's English wasn't? I believe he's there, so there you go.
Guys, apologies, I was muted.
There you go.
Sorry.
No worries, mate, no worries.
I was looking around in the Discord asking myself, like, oh, there's someone there that is going to grab me in some some vocal channel, but then I realized I was muted, so apologies, first of all.
No, it's absolutely fine, mate. Well done again.
I haven't heard a single word of what you've spoken, so if you can repeat to me,
Yeah,
I
absolutely. So, again, mate, congratulations. You've not only secured yourself the championship win, but also a very impressive race out here at Silverstone today. You won the championship and secured yourself, arguably, probably one of the most impressive drives of the season in doing a last to first challenge. Now, I did want to ask you about that. Was that intentional?
Yeah, well, I mean, what we said at first when we decided to to get part of this tournament, of this championship, is to help you and help your community, which we like really a lot, or your whole organization, to grow and to improve. So we tried to bring as much level on track as possible, maybe attract even a new driver for the upcoming season, you know. And so I tried to battle with all the guys in the field to see how they behave, how they move, to let them see how maybe a faster driver should approach to an overtake and something like that. So it wasn't just like being, I don't know, arrogant. Not at all. I just wanted to get fun with all the guys there. So that's it, mate. I mean, I wanted to share my my whole experience with all the drivers. So that's why I tried this challenge, and it gave me really a lot of fun because I always respected everyone on track, and I've seen really a lot of good drivers there around, like Raf Suarez, which I've already mentioned on the Discord, and many others. So I'm sure that the upcoming series will be even more exciting. And thank you again.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. And as you said, you know, it looked like a very impressive drive from yourself, having to overtake literally everyone on the field. And as you say, it potentially it is a learning experience for a lot of the other drivers, and one that I'm sure that potentially with the, as you say, with the growth of the community, hopefully we get in some more drivers and everyone can help each other out and getting faster and just enjoying and sharing this passion we all have for motorsport. It's a very cool thing to do. And as I say, it resulted in you having us in the commentary booth trying to work out what that meant for the championship to see where you'd have to finish in order to secure the win. I think we worked out with the points that you needed to finish on the podium or higher. So successfully done. And yeah, as I say, it will be a championship win for yourself, one for the team, I'm sure. And you guys have been incredible all season long, all of you in the Leo team. And it has been an absolute pleasure to watch you throughout the season. And as I say, the next question really is, are you guys going to be joining us next season?
Well, first of all, I will thank you again for all the compliments you're giving us. And I will thank you as well, Luigi and Fabio, my teammates, and even Lorenzo and Alessandro Izzo and Carlo Labadi, which retired for the last races, but he drove the first ones as well with us. So the whole team, because we really shared a lot of time together for this championship. I mean, it's even like making good friendship, not only getting to a race and drive. You make good friendship, you share thoughts, you share suggestion, you try to improve as one person, not only like a single one, but all together. And this is something that a win on the track could not give the same feeling. I mean, so yeah, I will thank you as well, and I will thank again all my team. And yes, I guess that we will be participating in the upcoming season.
And with that, then obviously there is the idea that the IMSA series brings in GT3. We'd imagine will come back. LMP2 we imagine will come back, but potentially the new hypercar, and that is one that is interesting as it will be a new car class. Do you have any sort of idea where it is that you're going to be? Are you going to be back in GT3, or are you going to look towards the other two classes and maybe make that step up to competing against Lorenzo?
I have to admit that I am terrible in P2s. So I have no way to compete with Lorenzo at all. He's a really, really good and fast driver, really, really constant and clean. So no, maybe you gave me a good suggestion about the upcoming hypercars. They are really, really interesting, even if I'm not that used to the hybrid system. But yeah, I could give it a try. Maybe, who knows? We will see.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, mate, congratulations on not only a race win here, but also the championship win. And as I say, you've given out a lot of thanks, but is there anyone else sort of that you may have missed that you want to give another shout out to before we let you go and celebrate, I'm sure, with some champagne and whatever else it is that you're going to be celebrating
dinner,
with?
because I still have to eat, so this will be my champagne. Anyway, yeah, I will thank my fiancée because she allowed me to spend all this whole time on the simulator. So
Respect
to me, yeah. And my
Respect
son
to
as
Miss
well.
Bradley.
And my son as well. I have a little son of 3 years ago, 3 years
Okay.
old, and yeah, everything I do for him. So yeah, I thank you. I thank them as well.
Are we going to see a Bernardi Jr. within the next sort of few years to come then?
You can be sure that I will give my best to make him have the same passion, maybe achieve what I couldn't because of my age,
Yeah.
If you could understand what I mean.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see that sort of like family progression throughout the season. But yes, mate, we'll let you go. As I say, it's always a pleasure talking to you. And again, congratulations on the championship win.
Same to me, guys, and really appreciate all you've done, and have a good weekend. Catch you soon, guys. Can't wait for it. Cheers.
See you later, mate. Always a nice guy as Alessio.
Love
talking
guy.
to Alessio. And let's bring in James Ebram and talk to him about what happened, and also Lorenzo, who indeed obviously won in the prototypes here today. And Yeah, James, welcome in, my friend. And, a pretty intense race, I think, could be said for most of it in P2. Looked like you and Dylan van der Lands were battling up there, and Frank was in there as well, all getting involved. And, it seemed like, from your point of view, the race quite entertaining.
Yeah, I needed to get the move done, get into that. I got a little bit caught out at the start. I wasn't expecting to go quite as early. Which a bit more to do. Opportunity around the outside of a bit of a cheeky lunge. Frank, who fairly give, but I knew I needed to possible cause it's so hard to over.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, the P2 very difficult to overtake around here. You know, you can't really go side by side through Maggots Beckett's unless you seem to have a death wish. But even still, you made it work. And in terms of result on the road, at least, ignoring any sort of post-race penalties, it was a P2, and one that I'm pretty sure ends the season off in a pretty good way for yourself. I'm sure, and it's. Not been in terms of race results. You've been there and thereabouts. And do you have any sort of like highlights throughout the season? Any other comments or anything at all that you want to sort of just give an overview of how the season's been for yourself?
I think I would probably sum up the season as itself. Definitely had a lot of way, or haven't been. I think this has been the only race where I would adequate self, and even then, I not look after the time because down 30% fronts at the I just had no pace. That 5 second. I think overall, okay, had its ups and downs. I've had good, mixed in, bad performance. Some stints were excellent. I think it's been a real mixed bag. Next season, ending any time of day and what fight for that. I think I can get cast.
Well, that is of course the challenge, isn't it? It's to take out the championship leader. And this is going to be interesting to see, obviously, what happens moving forward, as you say, pending sort of any other date changes and what have you. But if you do come back, depending on whether or not it's ready in time, if there is a hypercar in the mix, is that where you're going to move to, or are you going to stay in P2?
I think it depends actually on how I feel when it first comes out. I'll definitely get it as soon as it comes out, and I'll maps or circuits. The how I feel with it feels good and feels like I've got instant pace with it. And I think yeah, if not, I'd probably stick with the pile because there time to find. I would say that I've mastered that car 8 10 slower than good time.
Well, as you say, you've got improvements to make, but it's not all bad in the world of James Ebram. You still get results when it matters, and as you say, the season may have been a bit topsy turvy, but hey, we're looking forward to seeing you again next season, and obviously, depending on whether or not you can make it. Where, as I say, we're not sure on what next season's going to look like yet, but hopefully, we can find something where all of the top guys can come back, because I think it will make for one hell of a season. But before we let you go, mate, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, absolutely. I give a thanks to my teammates, that haven't obviously been racing this league, ATRS Esports and ATRS Academy. Obviously, EJ and Ryan for being supportive guys that they have been in ATRS. They've been absolutely amazing. And obviously, all our sponsors, Apex Tech Racing Supply, Meridian Audio, DPI Cinema, Pro Sim Rig as well. Got some of their stuff already. Yeah, and I think that about covers it.
Well, that is certainly a lot of people to thank, but hey,
Yeah,
you've gone through the checklist to make sure it's all good.
yeah. There's a lot of people to thank for my participation in all.
But as I say, it's always cool to have you here, mate, and hopefully you're back again next season. I'm sure everyone else here would love to see it. And I'm sure Lorenzo would appreciate the company up near the top of the field as well. So
Next
yeah.
season, I'm coming out fighting.
But yes, mate, we'll let you go. Let you have food as everyone else seems to be wanting to have, and drinks and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
and again,
cheers for putting this all together as well. The commentary is great. The race coverage is great. I always enjoy watching it back later in the evening next day.
yeah, we try our absolute best. But again, we can't do it without all of the races on track and all the lovely people watching at home as well. You know, we're all working together for the same goal. But
all legends in there.
yeah, absolutely. But yes, mate, we'll let you head off, and yeah, I can't wait to see you back next season.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. And I think we have one final person left, and we have saved the best to last, I believe. Lorenzo Castellani, championship winner, and you could argue it was never in doubt, really, here at Silverstone. Qualified on pole, pretty much, ran away with it from the start. And Lorenzo, mate, welcome in, and congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It feels good to hear that, honestly. But yeah, I'm very happy about the result. I was a bit concerned at the beginning of the race because, as I said the last time, I never raced on Silverstone that much, so I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, I managed to prepare very well, and we saw the results today. So I'm a bit sorry about what happened with Alessandro Izzo because he couldn't manage to prepare that much. So he had some trouble, some issues during the race, and he didn't manage to do a good one. So it would have been better to do a small battle together, but yeah, it didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see a battle between you two. We were looking at the championship standings and seeing how it could work, but yeah, it would have required a heck of a drive from Izzo and an unfortunate drive from yourself, really, to shake things up in the championship. It was pretty well decided, but even still, it's always cool to see people battling, and you guys in the Leo Racing team, you guys have been top form throughout the entire thing. So again, like, you guys have been awesome to watch race, and this race has been no exception. You guys provide action where it's needed. There's been obviously ups and downs, I'm sure, but for the most part, mate, your season, I mean, you've got to be pretty happy with it, right?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy mostly because I managed to turn around everything from the third or fourth race. I had a very bad start at the Indianapolis. Was just did a very very bad race, and so I had to make up all the points that I lost there throughout the whole championship. And there were some races where bad luck struck a bit, but yeah, I think the last four races really managed to put me at the top of the standings. I think three wins. So
Yeah, Barcelona,
I
Sebring, and
think
today.
I think they were the size for the outcome of the championship.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And as you say, 3 wins back to back: Barcelona, Sebring, and Silverstone. I believe it was a second place at Le Mans, although unfortunately I wasn't able to be there for that one, which was a shame. I would have liked to have seen Le Mans, but yeah, the question that I have asked everybody, Lorenzo, is regarding next season. Are you, first of all, are you looking to come back next season and defend the championship?
I mean, let's see. I really enjoyed this championship, so probably yes. But let's see also the other races that I have to do. I've been very busy in the last 3 months, so I don't know. Probably yes. I'm not sure 100%.
Well, we would absolutely love to have you back. And the other question as well, you know, being a prototype driver, I'm sure the news that iRacing are bringing in the LMDH in the BMW is a talking point. Potential, again, we don't know. This is just speculation from us as commentators. If the LMDH does come in, are you going to move up to the BMW or are you going to stay in the P2?
It's a tough question to answer now. I really love the P2, but at the same time, the LMDH does intrigue me a lot. It's really interesting, and also with the hybrid system, if it's not too complicated to use, it could be fun to try. So I'm looking for about that, but let's see how it is.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. But hey, regardless on what car you end up driving, if you're back, I'm sure it'll be exciting regardless. And, you know, hopefully it will lead to, again, more championship fights and more wins going your way. I'm sure, if not a battle, as James Ebram was saying, that he's coming for you next season. So,
yeah, let's see what happens. Not good at making long-term plans, so.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, when we know more news, we'll be getting it out there to the public. But Lorenzo, mate, before we let you go and celebrate a, again, truly awesome championship for yourself, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Mostly to my team, to not only the one behind the scenes, but also the one who took part in this championship, Alessio, Alessandro, Carlo, Luigi, Fabio, because I heard what Alessio said before, and it's true. We did that all together, not only to race against each other, but also to enjoy time with together. So to uh, make our friendship stronger and to spend time together. So I want to thank them for doing this championship, and I really enjoyed the time. That's it.
Well, awesome, mate. I'm, as I say, I'm certain that if you are back, we'll see you competing for more race wins and certainly more action, as is always expected here in the IMSA series at Anti-Stall Racing. But yeah, mate, we'll let you go celebrate with your team, and yeah, just I guess we'll see you if we see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, let's hope. Let's see. Next season.
Let's err on the side that we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, Lorenzo. As I say, we'll let you go, and always a pleasure speaking to you, my friend.
Thank you. That's all.
Yeah. And Wes, that will probably wrap it up from us here. We are indeed running a little bit over time.
Well, we have
rather...
complete control, so don't worry about it. I don't think Kevin will tell us off if we go over. It's all right. He looks like he's busy in his steward's room anyway, so he's busy. He's all right. He won't notice. It's more if Gerard tells us off, I think.
Yeah, Gerard seems to be pretty punctual now. We have to have a 2-hour allotted time.
Yeah.
Can't go over. But Wes, as always, mate, it's lovely sharing the combox with yourself. And mate, should we do it all again next season?
I think we shall.
Absolutely. So, as always, I've been Ava, that's been Wes. This has been Anti-Stall Racing IMSA Series final round at Silverstone. It was a banger, and we can't wait to do it all again next season.